And you're right. We take a lot of things for granted. Our definite purpose, our ultimate goal, our stretch goals. And, and me and Kelly have talked about this a lot in our other group and the book we just did, that we have to really have it detailed out. We have to know exactly a detailed, whether it's how much body fat do I want to release, how much money do I want to earn, whatever it is, it's pinpointing exactly what it is and reading that aloud every day, like you said, because that is how we change our subconscious. Whatever we relate to that every day. And you're absolutely right. And it's something that we have to look upon every day. And also there's the steps every day to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I wanted to put in, whether it's our big goal tonight or the small steps, the small goal to get to this big goal, we can declare that tonight. So, if anyone has that, fine, or during the call, we can think about that, and we'll collect those at the end of the call.
Right on. If I were to add one more, I would love to get this video to work so that way you can all see my beautiful face. I promise you I'm nothing to look at. I'm no looker. So, I mean, you're not missing out on much, but by the next time we have a call, I'm going to make this video work so you'll be able to see me as well. That's a goal. We'll make it a goal as well. But in terms of the small goal that I was just mentioning is I've read the book many times, and many times I just kind of glazed over it. And I think the reason why is because they said it was a self-confidence formula. And I was like, I'm a confident guy. I don't need a self-confidence formula. But only in this actual rereading of the chapter on faith did I realize that it's not, self-confidence is not measured in the same way as the way you typically think about self-confidence. And so I was like, I'm going to write out the self-confidence formula, write out my definite purpose. And, all the other times when I was like, oh yeah, I know what my purpose is. I know what my goals are. I took it very lightly. Whereas this time I was like, no, self-confidence means having the faith in yourself to be able to talk to a stranger at any moment, call a company at any moment, do something nice for a stranger without thinking that, oh, they're going to think I'm weird. Like all those things are self-confidence in a way that it's reinforced by the self-confidence formula.
I agree. I agree 100%. And also, again, to reference Kelly, because Kelly is in our personal development group that we have, and she also did the first book with me, Bob Proctor's You Were Born Rich. And he is probably not only the world, in America's greatest prosperity coach, but he's probably also arguably Think and Grow Rich is, most successful student, most successful reader. He's been reading it for over 50 years. And carries around with him his copy of it. It looks like a tethered Bible. And he reads, that is one things he reads every single day. And it was, I bring this up because it's in relation to what you just said, Joey. And on the nights of it, I reread some stuff and I put my notes together. And that's exactly what it is, that self-confidence formula. And it is reading aloud. We sometimes forget what it is our goals are. We sometimes say, well, this is what I want. And it's a mental notepad that we have in our mind. But the day gets away from us, or the enthusiasm wanes. And now what we thought we wanted, day to day, we may not hit one of those steps, whether it's to call 20 people or whether it's to make sure I ate breakfast, because I need to eat breakfast every morning if I want to lose weight and burn fat. You're missing certain steps. So reading aloud every day and that self-confidence formula and your goals, morning and night, it permeates your mind, and it comes into the subconscious.
Yeah, most definitely. The other thing is that, like, even as you do it, you start to read to yourself your own goal. Like, you don't say it out loud, and hearing your own voice say it reinforces your thoughts. And then when you take the quiet time to think about the person you want to be in the future, you actually start to develop, like, real clear mental pictures of you talking to clients, or you meeting a really hot girl, or you, whatever you're trying to do, you see it in your mind, and then you see the house that you want to live in. You see, you start to build, and the interactions that you want to have in the bank with the, you want to be the pimp, like, all those things start to come together in the visions in your mind, and you can see it as a reality. And like he says, you start to trick your subconscious into believing what's real, and then you start to move towards your goals.
Yes, and that's a great way to start chapter 3, faith. Leroy, when you started to read chapter 3, faith, what was it about it that really started to jump out at you when you started reading faith?
Well, I think what came to mind when I was reading faith, I'm a Christian, so first I had to go to Hebrews 11, that talks about faith being the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I tried to relate that to the chapter that I was reading, which is chapter 3. And I think what I got from that chapter is desire, which is a burning desire, which is what we were talking about the last time we met, from chapter 2, can be transmuted into its financial equivalent through faith. And faith is a state of being, and believing who you are, and believing that you already possess that particular desire. And faith will be the very thing that will help you, that will actually find a way of getting you what you want. So you shouldn't worry about the how. You should worry about desire and communicating that to the eternal ether that is being referred to. And as long as you do that, I think eventually you do get there. You shouldn't worry about the how and worry about the fear. All that will be taken care of by faith. And I guess leading on to chapter 4 is a person then asks, how do you develop that faith? It's literally impossible to imagine things that are not in existence as if they were. And I think that's something that I need to continue developing in, the auto-suggestion part, where you keep on telling yourself something about the person that you intend to be, what you want to achieve, until it burns in your subconscious, until you find a way to get through to your subconscious. And by that time, that's where faith works. Faith works in the subconscious realm, and the moment you tap into that, I'm sure you will be able to achieve the objective of your goal.
Yes, excellent. Hello, Sandra. How are you? I barely hear you, but I see you. I am so glad to see you. I was almost bummed that you weren't initially on, and I do know that it is late again, coming from the UK. But I'm so glad to see you. I'm so pumped about chapter 3 and 4. I really believe, as chapter 3, faith, starts off. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. And they say that because it doesn't matter what you want, what you desire, if you do not believe that it will come, if you do not believe that it is already here, none of it will be attracted to you or magnetized to you by your thoughts. As it was saying, faith in yourself faith in the infinite intelligence, the divine intelligence that is all around us. If you do not already believe that you're in possession of the good that you desire, it's not, well, I'll be so happy when this happens. It is faith that you already have to put into your mind, in your subconscious mind, that you are already in possession of the good that you desire, whether that is the money. If you want to be filthy rich and you have a specific figure on that, you have to act and believe that you already have that. You never have limitation in your mind. You never say, I don't have enough money. I cannot afford this. You cannot say, how will I ever pay this? I don't have it. If it is money, that is your goal that you desire. You have to already feel that you are in possession of this. If it is something of more better health and the attainment of releasing body fat, you cannot keep saying to yourself, I am an out of shape mess, I'm a wreck. You cannot. You have to say to yourself the affirmations, as Leroy just said, and the help with auto suggestion. It is telling yourself, faith is. That was quite a few years ago. I love this chapter. I sometimes think it should be chapter 1. But the faith and belief in oneself, in the attainment of their goals, the attainment of the good that they desire, is number 1. And it's not thinking to yourself, even like Joey said, saying in your inner voice. You may say something out loud, but if that inner voice is not talking about prosperity, if not talking about success, you will never have anything attract into your life. You will never attract the people, places, and events that you need to be coming into your life to achieve your goals. And so, Sandra, what was it about that? We talked quite a few days ago. You got your hardcover or your hard copy of the book in the mail. You were so excited. Are we still here, Sandra? I see you, but I don't hear you. Can you hear me, Sandra? You can't hear nothing? Nothing. Okay. Well, we'll move right along for now. Kelly, are you still here?
I am. I just have video off because the kids keep popping in.
That's quite okay.
Sorry.
That's right. Okay. All right. So when you happen upon this, I'm glad to see you with us tonight. And, because of vacation or this is a nap, you weren't able to be on last call. So far, in chapter 3, beginning it, what are your thoughts on it, and what did you feel how it applied to your life or any personal experiences?
Well, one of the biggest things that stuck out to me is the talking, or how it talks about emotionalizing the faith. So, obviously you can have faith, you can say anything you want, but it's the emotions that go along with it. And I guess this was talked about in both chapters, really, but obviously started off in the first chapter. And that one really stuck with me because, believe me, I have my days where, I say what I say all my goals and what I want to achieve. And there's just no emotion, no anything that goes along with it. And so that one really stuck with me, is that you really need to, you need to add emotion to your faith, in order to move things along, basically. If there's no feeling, in what you're saying or what you're trying to do or any of your goals, you're never going to get there. And that's something I think that it's thinking of the last book, about how, always repeating everything, repeating every day, your goals, your manifestations, all that kind of stuff. It really never touched upon the emotion. So that's why I think it really, I don't know, that one really resonated with me. And I got to be honest with you, I had a tough time reading this chapter. Every day, every night I sat down to read it. 5 minutes into it, I would just conk out for the night. So it took me a good week just to read this one chapter. So I really would love to sit down and reread the whole thing, all at once.
Yes.
So so it's not as chopped up for me. But I know that was like the one big thing that I really took away from, everything that I read, aside from the long story about J.P. Morgan. So.
Yes, which is a great story.
It is, yeah.
I believe if it is, it won't be tonight. But it was about a year ago. And because I've already knew of the history of this book and the players, there was a fantastic short mini-series on Netflix, and it was called The Men Who Built America. And, it was J.P. Morgan, Schwab, and, of course, Andrew Carnegie, who is the catapult, the person that this book was set forth in the mission to Napoleon Hill to write. And it's a fantastic miniseries. See how opportunity is found and how to capitalize on it. And I'll post that link because it's quite interesting. And J.P. Morgan, always capitalized on the next endeavor. He actually first backed Nikola Tesla, and when he couldn't capitalize on him, he went right to Edison. But be that as it may, what I also loved about it, and I have my bookmark here, and I wanted to read it real quick. And it was the law of the auto-suggestion. And I just wanted to read it real quick because I thought it was just fantastic. And if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but you think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go with a stronger or faster man, but soon or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. That I love great writing, and that's fantastic. You know,
So what I would say is what that poem I think really resonated with me is that the emotion that you're supposed to mix with faith is belief, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's nice to think, like, to have other emotions like happiness or, you know, whatever else, but the main emotion that you're mixing with faith is belief. And from my perspective, when I read the chapter, when I think about faith, it wasn't a religious form of faith. It was like a faith in yourself. It was a belief in your own achievement, a belief in not needing anyone else. And so the emotion that you mix with the faith is belief first and foremost. And I think that's really what that poem and what that prose is all about.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. It is, you know, connecting the emotions of the faith, love, the sex, and also you do have to have desire. You do have to have a burning will, like the poem says. You have to have your magnificent obsession, but it is before you get to the gate, before you head to the post, you have already won. You know, I will use that race analogy. It doesn't matter who do you look to your left and your right at the starting line. It doesn't matter if you already know this guy has won 10 in a row. It doesn't matter if, you know, they look like they're more in shape or faster or anything. It doesn't matter. I love the quote because it means good and bad, that it is none of my business what you think of me.
Great.
You know, you know, someone may think that as like a you know, a conceited quote, but what it really points to is good or bad. You could give me all the accolades all you want, or you could tear me down or point out my flaws. None of it matters. None of it matters what you think of me. It doesn't matter. It matters what my mindset is. It matters when I look to the left and right that there really isn't anybody there, and that you have already connected the emotions, like Kelly was saying. Don't just say, well, yes, I'm going to win. Yes, I'm going to win. Yes, I'm going to win. But actually connect visually the picture in your mind that how fast you're running. You're pushing your body, feeling the exhilaration of your body going through the finish line and tearing away the tape, the finish tape. And that you're in the feeling of you that you won, the look on your face, and that you're throwing your hands up in the air, and that you're amped, and that you just won. That is the mindset, and it goes both ways. And 9 times out of 10, people have the lack, failure mindset, limitation mindset that they are going to lose. Oh, there's no way that they can do this. And guess what? They end up not finishing. Or if they do, you know, last place. If they're lucky. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like all those, like, that's how you emotionalize what you're thinking about. That's how you emotionalize your thoughts is by believing that you end up and winning the race. Exactly what you said. The expression "don't rent space" comes to mind as well. They mean don't rent space inside your own head, right? So don't give anybody else any space there. It's all for you, and you can fill it with whatever you want.
Yes, and Sandra. You know, this woman's awesome. She wants success and go to the next level. Okay. The reason why of the no audio, she's at a guest house. Okay, and it's very late. She can't talk, but God damn it, she's here and she's showing up and wants to learn, and so she's chatting with me, giving me her takeaways and everything. And she just pointed out, and we were just saying, to go along with what Leroy and Joey was saying, is that you do have to attach emotions to it. That's why affirmations work. If you believe in the infinite intelligence that is all around us, that comes through us and to us, if we are creators, but you have to connect the emotion with it. It doesn't matter if you keep saying to yourself, I am strong, or I am rich, I am successful. You have to connect that emotional belief that you do live already in abundance. The abundance is all around you, you know? And so these repetitions of affirmations, already believe it, it is going to come to you. And Leroy pointed it out. You have to get going. You cannot you cannot plan until the end of time. There has to be a point where you have to commit and jump off the cliff, and you will grow wings on your way down. You know, there comes a point where enough's enough, and I'm ready. I got what I need. I know what I want. I have my why. I'm going to jump off the cliff, and the how, that burning desire and the faith, my how, the wings will come to me. You will fly, baby. And so, and that's, you know, and that's going great. You know, it was interspersed. They go hand in hand. There was another great thing I wanted to add. You know, and you always got to be ready. I wanted to touch upon it briefly. Is, you know, giving that dinner speech in chapter 3. This goes hand in hand. You have to be ready. People were telling him that, you know, nothing's going to come of it. Don't bother, or, you know, be very little. And there's no exact recording or intonation of the speech, but that it planted such seeds in the minds of others that he got the backing of what he needed to obtain his goal. You know, and that goes in with, you have to jump. And when you see opportunity, because it is going to come through the back door, you have to be aware and be ready. And when that opportunity comes, you have to strike. You know, whether it's a client, a new sale, or you know, meeting somebody for the first time and making a relationship with them. You know, you have to be ready. If you're at the donut shop, if you're at the store and somebody's talking to you, you have to be ready. Make you know, network. Make us, you know, it's if you're ever at a party or a gathering or event, don't, you know, they'll say, what do you do? And I do this, and you know, can I be of service to you? No, you know, you just say what you are, ask who they are, what they do, what they believe in, and you let them know who you are, what you do, and they'll be so enamored that you look into interest in them that they will use you. They will come to you. You know. But with that said, we can move. You know, did anyone have anything else they wanted to add that they really thought was a golden nugget to them on chapter 3? You know, if anybody had anything, you know, we move right along, and it goes hand in hand. And auto-suggestion. Excuse me. The subconscious mind, it cannot differentiate between a truth and a lie. Have you may have done it to yourself in the past, or we've accused others of doing it. We may have accused others of doing it that, this other person lies so much they believe in their own, stories. The subconscious mind is at the bottom. We may think something up here. Has any one of you ever had a goal? You set forth to do it, but you act differently. You say you want to do this, but when it comes time, you're acting in a different way. That's the subconscious mind, and it's replacing it with new beliefs, replacing it with new affirmations of who you are as a person, your personal and professional goals, and that you keep going over and over with that. And also that is another fantastic reason of why to write out what your goals are, and to repeat it to yourself morning and night. You wake up, you know what your goals are. That's how you're starting the day. You go to bed, this is my goal. And that is going to permeate in your mind as you're sleeping. Is it something that you really want? It's kind of wishes, but do we really want it? And will we take the time to really say it every day? You know what I mean? How many here have their goals written out? And there's no right or wrong answer. Woo! You're right.
Yep.
Joey, how about you for professional or personal goals?
Yeah, most definitely. I told you I didn't write them out until this last read. But yeah, I definitely have them written out. I definitely read them before I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning. And I've actually started to influence my dreams. I mean, you can take it for what it is, but when you start to really think about the person you want to become right before you go to bed, then your brain takes it from there for the rest of the night, right? So the last thoughts in your mind to the person you want to become, and then you're putting those thoughts into your subconscious mind, and then your dreams are like much happier dreams. You wake up really inspired to take on the next day with ease. You're nicer to people just by chance. It just happens. You just end up being nicer to people, and yeah, overall the reinforcement morning and night is what really gets you to that level. The other thing that I would say is that negative self-talk works the same way. So if you're like, that guy's a jerk, or that person screwed me over, or I'm so screwed, I have bad luck, or all those things, and you start telling yourself that, then that takes over your mind. And the negative self-talk is far more damaging than even the way the positive self-talk can be for you, because it ends up putting you in a place where you're just like stagnant, right? And so what I would say is that the ability to build day in, day out and make it a consistent habit of positive self-thoughts, positive self-talk, positive outlook, and positive projection is what makes you a better person, makes you nicer to strangers, makes you go the extra mile. Like he says it, like go the extra mile. He says it in the book, but what makes you go the extra mile is that you know that you're all set, and now you can help somebody else, right?
Yes, I agree. And Sandra brought up an excellent thing here, point about, and it's the segue into it, and it was about Gandhi. It was an excellent example, because when we're now changing our paradigm, the paradigm is a collection of habits and beliefs. That is what makes us think and do, Praxis is actually an integration of action and beliefs. And, when we're setting forth goals and believing and having faith, sometimes we, as you said, we have the negative self-talk. I'm no good. I don't know enough. I haven't been as successful as others in my genre, in my niche. The rest of my group is more successful than I am. I've been at this for a while. This is never going to happen for me, and that's a bunch of bull crap. But what it points to, Gandhi was the perfect example, because it doesn't matter the past, and it doesn't matter what your present condition is right now. Gandhi was all about peace and nonviolence, and to get his message. And he influenced millions of people. He created such a peace movement. He didn't have a home. He didn't have much of okay, but it is through his belief in his conviction of a world of peace and love. That is why some of the chapters and some of the verses here refer to, it is not just the attainment of riches or of the attainment of a certain goal. It is going through human nature that I will never be successful without making someone else successful. And Gandhi was all about peace. And so his message was never about violence or even talking about violence. His message and his mind always thought about peace, non-violent methods. Now, can you imagine that right now? We've all struggled through our life at some point. But can you imagine being the force of nature that Gandhi was, having very little to no clothes? You have no home, but you have a faith and a conviction that things can be better, can be different, and that you end up influencing millions of people. I want you to really grasp the concept of having, no home, and I've in the past been very close to that, where I was in between, and I was probably one step away from, having no home. I officially didn't have an address. That quickly changed, thank goodness. But it was through the faith and the belief that things will work out the way that they are intended to be.
Yeah, well, he says, I teach others, I will inspire others to believe in me because I will believe in others and in myself. And, that's really what it comes down to is by having faith in others, you get them to have faith in themselves and then in you as well. And that's really what Gandhi did, is he gave other people the power to have faith in the same thing that he had faith in.
Exactly. You cannot expect anybody if you don't believe it in yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will throw off all negativity, all cynicism, all jealousy, all envy, right? Get rid of all the bad stuff, and instead believe in each other and believe in yourself, and that's how you succeed.
Yes, I agree. And that is why Otto suggests, so if you're ever in these next 2 weeks, ever in a spot, you're going to be working your side hustle, your full-time hustle. If you have any doubt whatsoever in your mind, think about where Gandhi started. Think about having next to nothing. And you have so much more. You know, in this day and age, you know, this book was written so long ago, but all of the essentials and the steps, they never changed. You know, man had to believe that there was something better and that they saw it in their mind, and they made it happen. They didn't know how, but they knew that they could make it happen. They had the image of their mind and said, this is going to happen. You know, just like, you know, putting you know, a man on the moon. It was so out of our concept, but John F. Kennedy said, we're going to put a man on the moon. And he believed it. There is no unequivocal nothing. This was going to happen. So in the next 2 weeks, when you find yourself, when doubt permeates, quickly take that out of your mind like a scrap of paper. Crumble, fold that up, and throw that thought out of your mind. Because we have so much more resources available to us right now. You know, we have the information. A lot of things that we need to learn to make our goals happen, we can get all free off of Google. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, just like I also wanted to say another character, you know, a fantastic, I shouldn't say character, but another incredible man that just passed away recently that also Sandra has a very strong connection with is Muhammad Ali. You know, a force of love and understanding and of peace. And never would he succumb to the racial prejudices and the hatred, you know, when he was interviewed. And he was a fantastic interviewer. I mean, you know, he could have been a lousy boxer, but I'll tell you, if people would come to see his interviews and everything, but he wasn't. Not only could he talk the talk, he could walk the walk. But he was never lured. They tried to lure him in interviews. They tried to make him come down, and he refused to. He was always about, as Joey said, you don't let jealousy, hatred, you know, for someone else or for your present conditions to wear you down, because the mindset, the thought, the image that you have in your mind is what will be attractive to you in your life. And Muhammad Ali was a fantastic man, and it was quite a shame that he couldn't, you know, talk the later years in his life. It was almost, you know, it was almost a shame that they took. I was thinking that a week ago. It was quite a shame that he was, one of the gifts that he had was almost taken away from him. But through his facial gestures of every event that he didn't go into seclusion. He never went into hiding. He still went out in the public with how he was. And just through his face, you could see the radiating, the illumination of love and peace that's coming out of him. And, you know, and that's something that we could all learn from. You know, with our family, friends, clients, whatever it is, you know, be known for the peace, radiating love, you know, and that's what he was about, and that was faith. But to go along, you know, the auto-suggestion, it is telling yourself repeatedly with emotion, with feelings. You cannot just, you know, let that, you cannot just repeat it, and, you know, and read it monotone to yourself. I suggest anybody with the subconscious mind, that's why affirmations work. Whatever it is, tailor it to your goals. If you need to release body fat so that you have more energy and that you want to live longer for your children or your future children, or that you can be on the sales floor or the phone call for longer periods of time and have, and have more energy. Tailor that. Tailor I am strong. I am healthy. And Kelly, do you have anything that you would like to add to autosuggestion, chapter 4? Or when you started off with that, did that anything? Or your takeaways about that?
You cut out on me. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I know. When you started chapter 4, autosuggestion, wink. I got this wrong all week, the calling of it. What leapt out about it to you? Or was there anything, again, that you had personal connection with?
I got to be honest with you, like nothing. I don't know. I kind of felt like it was things that I already kind of knew.
Yeah.
So nothing really like, it wasn't like, oh boy, again, I guess about the emotion, the emotion of stuff. That's obviously went along with that first chapter. I liked how gave you the steps, it went over the steps of the 6 steps that reinforced the 6 steps. Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now because I got kids like jumping all over me.
Okay, don't we?
I do have to jump in a couple minutes. I don't know if you got my message, but
Yeah, I just got it now.
yeah, sorry. So sorry if sounded distracted right now, but I liked how it had reinforced the steps and kind of made you go back and reread them and all that kind of stuff from the other chapter. It kind of reinforced to me, it's kind of what Joey was saying about the every day and night readings, because I'm bad at that. I haven't really been doing, I have my goals written out, but I haven't really been reading them every day and night and repeating it and all that kind of stuff. So I guess that was a good reminder for me. But again, it wasn't anything that really I didn't know.
Right. And again, Kelly, for the rest of you, is referring to when we just did You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And as I say, he spoke very highly and called it in other terms autosuggestion. But autosuggestion can be also called affirmations. It is permeating your subconscious mind, the very bottom, the one that is who we think we are. I shared a quote the other night, and it was from James Allen, off another fantastic book, if none of you have already read it, called As a Man Thinketh. And it is not the words that come out of our mouth, but it is the words that we whisper inside of ourselves that have the most power. It is what are we telling ourselves, the real inside voice, the thoughts, the images, and the words that we're using to describe who we are and our goals. Is there anything you'd like to add on chapter 4, autosuggestion, Leroy?
Yeah, I came up with some sort of analogy for autosuggestion and how it goes along with faith and the previous chapters that we read out. So to me, autosuggestion is the key to opening the gate, which is the conscious mind, so that what is observed through through our five senses reaches the subconscious mind, and that's where the magic happens. So to me, auto-suggestion, I guess what jumped out at me was the one thing that I wasn't really practicing that I need to continue developing is visualizing or imagining yourself, for instance, in possession of your burning desire. I've heard it before, but I can't say I've ever even practiced it. So saying that over and over again until I get to a point where I actually see myself in possession of my money or of my burning desire is something that I want to try and infuse and practice on a day-to-day basis, and I am positive it will lead to positive results. So yeah, that was my key takeaway.
Yes, that is very excellent, and you know, it's something that we develop, and nothing happens overnight, but it is the small steps that we take each and every day. That is why it is so important, because we may have these vague goals in our mind. I want to make a lot of money. I want to lose a lot of weight, and we don't have a detailed, exactly how much money do I really want? What is the lifestyle that I want to live? Do I want to travel more? Do I want to have more space for my growing family? Or, do I want to make enough money so that I can hire more people to give my products and services out to people? Can I hire, the thing about money is not, it is the connotation. It's not that it's an evil thing. Money is always in circulation, and earning more money gives you the opportunity to actually help more people. You're now able to employ more people or give more out to charity. It enables you to not have to worry, and that you can actually now, without any doubt or worry, just to submerge yourself into your magnificent obsession. You know what I mean? And I also like what Sandra just pointed out, that this is very well written. And if you ever heard him talk, if you ever heard Napoleon Hill talk, he's not the most charismatic speaker, but he's a very good writer, and I love how he goes, you have to go back, before you go any further, if you are not in the state of mind that you understand the concepts so far of desire, about faith, about auto-suggestion, you need to go back and you read those. You need to go back and do the other steps before you go any further. Because if you don't have a burning desire each and every day to help as many people as you possibly can, if you do not have faith that your goals are going to be achieved, and if you don't have that ability to keep permeating your mind, your subconscious mind, with the positive affirmations, nothing else in this book or any other concepts are going to be working for you. This is a fantastic book. It is proven time and time again that if we follow these steps, because it's one thing, some of us may not have read the whole thing, or maybe we're only up to this chapter, or maybe because we had to stop and start each and every night. if we were just like an exercise program, if we were to just start it on our own, we probably, already would have given up on it. But having the group, having accountability for your goals, for your desires, it holds you accountable, and that's what we're going to do. And if you don't have that faith in yourself, you're going to go nowhere. Okay. I want everyone to know that it doesn't matter where you are now or what has happened in the past. Abundance is your birthright. And the only people that are successful that are around you right now and that have come before us, whether they knew it or not, it's not the most talented, it's not the most educated. It is the person that had a burning desire and had such faith in themselves that nothing was going to stop them until the non-physical became physical. And so, does anybody, I just wanted to, Joey touched upon it, as we're coming to a close to this call, I wanted to know if anyone, whether, it could be very small, but something that they need to start doing, whether it's a personal or professional goal, what would they want to declare tonight that they're going to start doing, and that will hold them accountable? We'll find out next week. We'll be like, hey, all right, Leroy, did do this, and we're gonna be honest with each other, because we're going. This is a great group of people. I'm sorry to see Mark not on tonight either, and what we all have in common, what attracted all of us is that we're go-getters, and that we know that there's something better, and that we will work and make our lives better, that we're not accepting present circumstances to hold us back. So with that said, whatever you'd like to declare tonight, we will be honest next week. Have you done it? And we'll give an honest, well, no, I haven't. And we'll find out why. And what, as us as a group, can offer for help and guidance. For an example, I may have a website problem. This is why I didn't do my goal. So Joey, who helps in automated services and website, would help me. And that is what a mastermind, I'm not calling this a mastermind group, but we're going to use some of its fantastic potential in this, So that's what it is, and that's how we can keep things interesting and really have some big goal-getting things by the time we're done with this book. Anybody? Or you want to come back to me later on or even tomorrow? Anybody got something for me?
Well, I'll start. So my goal for the next 2 weeks will be developing my reading speeds. I'm currently at 180 words per minute, so I want to get to 500 words per minute. That's my personal goal for the next 2 weeks.
And to start, and what's this related to again?
So my dream has always been to analyze financial statements in the fastest possible way. I've always been inspired by a TV show called Suits, for instance, where they get a piece of document and they're able to read and analyze it just within a couple of minutes. I know maybe that may not be real, but I believe there's people that actually do that. And I've always been a bit slow in terms of efficiencies and analyzing documents. I like to be thorough and too careful. So that has always been an area of improvement on my part. And towards my longer term goal of analyzing financial statements and integrated reports, I'd like to improve my reading speeds and my comprehension, increase my comprehension levels as well at high speeds.
Yes, that is a great goal to have, and again, just off the top of my head, because it's going to come in handy, because if somehow you can shave time off, that means you can fit more clients in, but again, it is being very efficient that you're giving the right information and the advice to the client. And again, Google is your friend. There is so much free stuff out there. It is scary. And look that up. Look up who, books such as this, and the most successful have left clues for all of us. And Google, research who are the most successful financial analysts or readers, and what they do. And find out what their habits were, and you'll see commonalities of what they're doing. And now, of course, being able to read all of it is having a fine grasp of the definition, the purpose of each category, So once you know that, and it's also practicing. I cannot have a goal of saying I'm going to be, I'm going to start being a fantastic singer at karaoke in 2 weeks and then not sing. Every day, Jim Rohn said another great quote that I love is, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That doesn't mean have 7 apples on Saturday. Practice your craft each and every day.
Yeah, I have a couple things to weigh in with. I mean, the first thing is that to tie it back to the fact that you called this week the Sixth Sense, all those financial analysts can be part of your invisible group of counselors going forward. I mean, so the first thing is that you can start to research, like David said, about who they are. Go on Wikipedia, figure them out, and make friends with them. Put them in your group of invisible counselors, and get advice from them on a daily basis. I mean, reading fast, it sounds like a good goal, but I think that overall using what you're reading to a higher level is probably a better outcome than just being able to read fast. Like, being able to read fast is a it's measurable, which is good, but I mean, how you're going to be able to use that, and like he says, knowledge is not power, knowledge plus action is power. So how you're going to be able to use that in the future to advance you towards your ultimate goal of whatever your definite desire is, that's really what it really means when it comes to reading fast, right? I mean, I like Suits too, by the way. It's a sick show. Mike Ross, he's my homeboy. But I mean, that's just the one thing. Another thing I wanted to say before we ended is that I thought it was really interesting that he in a book called Think and Grow Rich, Mr. Hill uses the example of Mahatma Gandhi. Like, the point is that the two ideas seem so far apart, and not until he puts it into the chapter that you're like, yeah, I see how he makes that connection. But if someone says, there's a book about making a lot of money, and then in that book there's a whole section on Mahatma Gandhi, you'd be like, no, that doesn't jive. It makes no sense. But the way he does it in the book and teaches you about belief and believing in others, and how he brings and ties the two concepts together, is what makes the book truly unique. And so I think that's really important. So yeah, I wish you best of luck with your goal. Let me know. I'll love to support you and help you in any way that I can. But ultimately, at the end of the day, building your mastermind of people who you want to emulate in the financial world will take you way farther than being able to read 500 words versus 200 words.
Well, thanks, Joey. That's actually a good suggestion. I'll take that into consideration.
Yes, absolutely. It is emulating the people that have come before us, and as Joey said, and as you mentioned, Leroy, it's also whether it's imaginary influences or not. It is, or that we get to know these people specifically. You want to go. You want to find people already in your niche who are the best, even if they're local around you. But, emulate them. How would they do this? It was like I said on the last call, who you are going to be, who you envision, each and every one of you, at the end of 2016, the person who is crushing goal after goal has exceeded everything that you ever thought possible. Who would that person be? And there's somebody that is more busier. They're working goals each and every day. The person that we want, or the person in suits, if they have an opportunity, they're going to act on it. They're working all day long or being productive towards their craft. They won't say, well, the guys in suits wouldn't sit around watching Suits.
100% accurate.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting that from Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if any of you are familiar with him.
Yeah, I know Gary V.
Yes, he's growing more popular as time goes on. And I follow him on Snapchat as well. And this guy is going and hustling. And so that means is when we're catching ourselves spending too much time relaxing, we could find ourselves saying, I could be role playing, for for my next client. I could be finding out more knowledge on how I can, say in Leroy's case, be more fast and efficient, and being an analyst. I could start to find out how to brand myself. I did want to say that tonight, and it wasn't some of the people that this would help. And before we wrap this up, so whatever you're doing, offering your services with your clients, and it is social media, you have to be consistent. People should know what you're doing, to know what you offer, okay? And there's an 80-20 rule with social media. No one wants to get bombarded with links all day long in the news feed, about what you offer, or about shakes, or about wraps, or try my new exercise program, or whatever it is. And if you're sharing a link, when you do finally share a link with somebody, whether it's an email, whether it's on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, don't just share the link. Have a nice story to go with it, And also, when you're branding, okay, people want to see a name, a face with the name. So whatever your profile pictures are across the board, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Google Plus, whatever it is, it should be a picture of your face. Save pictures of animals, children, or flowers, or cartoon characters for your news feed. Okay? Because people want to put a name, they want to put a face to the name. They want to and make it the same picture across the board. All right? I don't know how many are involved with other channels of social media, but I wanted to put that up. And since we're being recorded, those who could not make it will hear that message. And, you have to put emotional context with your links and the products that you offer, and be consistent with, your pictures and your profile and all that, because they want to, it's us helping people. That's what we're doing. We're here to help people, and it's about creating emotion, and it's what I can do for you, not what you can do for me. Getting good and helping as many people as you possibly can each and every day, all the riches and everything else will come to you. But all right, and Sandra gave me her goals, and Joey, did you have anything else other than AV goals?
As I said, inch by inch is inch, but yard by yard is very hard. You break things down, do it one thing at a time really well, get good as you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll look on that. Everything is always baby steps. We're going to learn as we go along. And please use the page, since it's not a million posts every day. Make sure in the book club that you have your notifications to be set, that you will be notified on every post. Because sometimes when you're part of groups, it's so inundated. It's such like a million posts. You're like, yeah, I'll just find you in my news stream. So set it. And if there's anything you need to add going forward, especially through 5 and 6, chapter 5 and 6, as we move along next 2 weeks, please feel free to post in the group and message me if you need any help with anything. But excellent call tonight, guys. Just like Joey said, it's someone that comes across this book, they just think it's about money. And it is developing the mind and the riches, unlocking the riches that are already within ourselves. Thanks again, guys. Have an excellent night. And I look forward to the next call.
Okay, thank you very much, David. Have a great day. See you later, guys. Good meeting all of you.
Thanks. Have a great day, guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.